All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9. Jackson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here comes Peppers. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh 1st. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, King. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard strike. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll run for it with Connor, and he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Right back to Connor here on 1st. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back to throw. King toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd.
Hey, Mike. Hey, no, let's switch the mic right here. We'll go Mike 40, Mike 40. It's coming this way, Here we go.
Looking to throw. King. Escaping, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know, he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. From one end zone to the other, 101 yards. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A first down carry for Barkley. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Barkley on first down, going to work his way forward, only for about a couple there. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Back to throw. King. Flush to his right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off inside the 10. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious, so you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Returning is Peppers. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. Looking to throw. King. He finds his tight end, Gentry. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Counter. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. On 2nd down. It's Connor, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Play action. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 62 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Jackson now off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. This is caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
Now it's Ingram, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens have once again taken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it will.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
I'm coming.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. It's our time. Hey, check 24.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson, and he's going to go down. So they pass up the field goal attempt to go for 6, but as a result, they leave points on the field, and that's going to do it for this first half. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they'll go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Connor. And an alley to run. And shoving his way inside the 35. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's get in now.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
That's another Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
To throw is King. Throwing on 1st down. Finds his tight end Ingram. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Paris Campbell, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And on that one, able able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A good passing down here, and they send three receivers to the right of the formation on second down. Here's Jackson off the bootleg. And a Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Lorenzo Carter, his second sack of the night.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line.
Well, this is simply a great read by a defensive back. It's 3rd and 10, so he sits right on where the yard to gain marker is, knows it's going to be a route around that distance, makes his read, breaks on the football, and makes a terrific play.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run here with Conner. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
Makes the score Steelers 31, Ravens 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. We own him.
Now Jackson back into his end zone. Under pressure and down he goes in the end zone, and that's his safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. King now on first down. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go. Now the wolf. SOS.
Here's King from the gun on third down. Forced out to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. The Ravens on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They go play action with Jackson. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
He'll buy some time right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield.
Easy work. It's easy
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Let's go. His hands, touchdown. 54, Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. He's coming out. He's coming. We got double up, double up.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson. And that's caught inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Back to the running game. It's Ingram. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
Check it back.
Play action. It's Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 58 yards.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
You go tank. You got tank. Delta, Delta. Right there. Mike 48. Mike 48. What we got?
Back to throw. King. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
On second down, it's Connor, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They go play action now. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at the 48.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
Kill. Slam. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way.
King on 1st and 10. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And Owen coughed it up. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that would be considered a fumble.
They'll run on 1st down. Connor. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Looking to throw. King. That's going to be caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Blitz coming And down he goes. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal.
Hey, well, Mike 40, Mike 40.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Hey, 40's Mike. 40's Mike right there. 40's Mike.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
Second and 2. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But now it's third and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
40's the mark. Squeeze.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Back to throw. King. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send it. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge.
They've got his man complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Well, what do you think? Maybe got away with one? I mean, he's thrown 2 picks already. That looked pretty dangerous.
And it had a little hang time on it. So what he needs to do right now, hug it out a little bit with his guy. Because he went up and made a play on the football and kept him from potentially throwing that 3rd interception. There's some trust in there. There's also some...
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Mike 54. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down.
It's a party now. Hey, watch that, watch that. 54, Mike 54.
One last shot for Jackson. Now in desperation. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Steelers, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3.